Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. This is a series of podcasts about Dynamic Communities Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. It's already June. This will be here in no time. We'll be talking with Academy class and session presenters leading up to the conference. And today we have Amber Bell with us. Amber, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Doing fine. It's nice and sunny down here in Pensacola. Summertime is well underway. The beaches are packed.
Yeah, no,
And
I
where are you
just
dialing in from today?
I live in Connecticut. I was actually going to say I just moved to I live just outside of New Haven. I'm in West Haven, so but I'm right at the beach. So literally walk out my door and cross the street and you're at the beach, which is amazing. So really really nice time of year to be anywhere near the water.
Yep, I agree. Well, you have got some sessions and classes coming up in Summit for October. But a little bit about you. I want to let everybody know who you work with, which is really your company, right? Training
Yeah.
Dynamo.
I've been working for myself now 9 years. Was in a couple months ago, so I've worked with partners for a long time, and then I decided to start a company where I could really focus on training and process improvement and the things that I really enjoy and things that I think sometimes people, they you get caught up in the customizing or the getting things ready for the launch for your implementation. And sometimes training gets to be where new employees have come in and no one's, done refresher training or new training. So I really make a point of reaching out and saying there's more to learn. There's a lot to keep up with, and there's even ways to improve how you learn. So that's really my focus.
Awesome. So you started in the GP arena, right? And you're
Yes.
still mostly GP, is that correct?
Yeah, I am slower than I should be, but been keeping busy on GP. I'm slowly moving into doing more with BC. And so with BC, that's one of the reasons when we get into talking about the academy class, that was kind of the inspiration behind what I'm doing in my academy class, and then also plans I have for upcoming training I'm going to be doing on my own and different things I'm going to be producing to help people that are on GP as they look to BC.
And are you looking at other ERPs as well, like F&O or other Microsoft platforms?
Not necessarily. Right now, I want to get really really in depth on BC if I once to help people, because I think a lot of people are going to be moving that way. I think there's a lot of support from Microsoft for that for customers and for partners. So I work with partners as well as customers. My goal in the classes I'm doing, and any other time I talk about data cleanup, I'm very clear. I know the name says BC, it's Business Central, but that class is the class that when we talk about that is really if you're moving to any ERP. So I feel like there's a lot of potential for people to improve their processes now in GP, which is why I'm still helping people with. Literally, just had a client the other day I hadn't worked with in a couple years, and I've been helping them with navigation and things that as people again as they've cycled through employees, those tips, those tricks are the things that they're not picking up. So my goal is to come back in and get them up to speed with ways to make things more efficient. So as far as other ERPs, I have some clients that are looking at some different ones. I'm sure once the dust settles on which ones that people are going to, I'm gonna probably learn some of the basics, but as far as deep diving, my plan currently is Business Central.
Okay. Summit is listed as October 19th through the 23rd. That's actually a Sunday through a Thursday down there.
Yes,
You actually have a class that starts before that even, right?
yes, I start on Saturday. So if anyone wants to have a bonus day, it's a great way to get
Awesome.
some really good deep dive content on those 2 days. I'm doing 2 days in a row for Academy. So those are additional. Just to be clear, they're not inclusive of the registration, but I have had people tell me this is, I've had repeat people for Academy. I've had people that have told me, how much those one, they're not one-on-one, but they're smaller classrooms, and they're on, um, they are, have, um, you know, labs where you're doing exercises. You can bring a laptop, you can follow along. I love doing Academy. For me, it's one of the most rewarding parts of being part of the Dynamic Communities community,
Mhm.
because I feel like I get the chance to really get to know individuals and actually talk them through, not only, like, a lot of times people are asking questions in a session, and it's very much like I'm trying to tell them the answer, but it's like I can't show it as much, just timing wise. There's just not enough time to demo every answer. Whereas in these classes, they're longer days. We've got a good breaks built in, but they're days where I say, bring your questions, connect to your if you have the ability to connect remotely to your office, to your server, to a development database, or like a non-production, whatever it is you need to do. um Otherwise a test environment would be provided, but it's just a chance to really deep dive. And I think that I mean, literally the ability to follow through on those questions from day one into day two is really exciting for me this year. And really, I'm working on, is it, just so everyone knows, if the academy name changes, that's something we tossed around so people know it's not just for people that are leaving BC. Really, you should be working on data cleanup if you're planning to stay in GP. There's just, I can't tell you. I mean, I could tell you the things I've seen that people have done over the years, because somebody that set it up 20 years ago didn't realize this one checkbox, or this one, not requiring everyone to use this one field, has changed everything into being a lot harder for the users. I think the better the
Yeah.
setup is done, the easier it is to use day to day, and people don't realize, oh, I don't have to give up. I can go back, clean it up, and I have a good point in time to move forward with good clean data.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the name of the class, which is going to start on Saturday, the 18th of October, that the name of it is Mastering Data Cleanup in Dynamics GP to Business Central, which you said that might change, but that's probably the name they're going
Yeah.
with. It's
Yeah.
a 2-day class, right? So they go in on
Yeah.
Saturday and the same people go back on Sunday. It's not like different people, is it?
No, yeah, yeah. As far as I
Okay.
remember, and like, yeah, it's a 2-day class, and basically what we're going to be doing, and what people are going to be receiving from this class is, for the last couple years now, I've been working on some SQL views that help you with your deep diving into reviewing and cleaning up your data. So, for example, I have a SQL view for general ledger accounts that gets down to, is it on a future budget? When is the last time it closed with a balance? When is the last time there was actually a transaction? Like, it's very detailed. The cool thing about it, and something I'll be covering in these classes and in my sessions as well. Well, maybe not the second, not maybe not the I'm lost session, but the superhero session and these two academy days, is I've been using Copilot quite a lot for designing SQL views and SQL scripts, to find data. So I'm going to be talking about how you can even improve your skills to to review and to clean up your data, even using those SQL views to find that information. So there's going to be tips and tricks on free tools to update and fix those records you find, and also just letting people know, there are sponsors that are going to be in the expo that they can go up and talk to, that have tools that even make it easier.
Right. Okay. And so registration, you get registration for Summit, which is the during the week. Uh, Keep in mind, everybody, that when you're looking for the academy classes, that is a separate registration. So you have to make sure you do both of those to get the class registration. Okay.
Yes.
And Amber, we can always come back to class topics as well, but you do also have those 2 sessions that are going to be coming up during during the week at Summit. I don't see a date and time for those yet. Those will probably be posted soon. But
Yeah.
the name of the first one is GP User to GP Superhero. Is it time for a reboot? So it's an exciting little title there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've been doing the GP user to GP superhero titled session for several years now. What I like about this for me is it's exciting to get to put together a really fun session. And I get the flexibility to really focus on things that have been coming up for me over the last year. So when I'm working with clients, this is a good companion, complementary, similar class to what will be covered in the academy class. It's going to be talking a lot about reviewing data and also just lots of tips and tricks. I mean, you'll come to that class and let the I'll have had a client like recently. I had a client that had me find or do a lot in Word forms. So I've been doing a lot in Microsoft Word forms. I've been doing a lot in Report Writer. So there are things that will come up that I'll say, you know what, I've got this time. I'm going to show you some tips for how to review your data, but you know what? We also are going to talk about, is it time to look at the reports you're using? Is it time to look at the forms you're using? So there's going to be, for me, I allow myself flexibility in what I cover because I like the opportunity to bring in things that are real world, real questions that I'm seeing, that I'm getting from clients, that I'm seeing people ask online and solve them for people. So I get to show you how I do that. It's a each of my sessions and the academy as well, I do a lot of hands-on demonstrations. I have slides that have navigation, things like that, but I want to do live demonstrations so people can see how to fix the problems and they can use that when they get home.
Those are awesome things to include in the session and the classes. People want to see it, and
Yeah.
that kind of sticks with them longer.
Yeah.
So, your other session is titled I'm Lost, Navigation and Shortcut Tips for Microsoft Dynamics GP. Another session that the date and time has not come out yet, but you got the title there.
Yeah.
So, how about highlights from that one for us?
So for that one, this is something I feel like in my bones is very important. I will go to customers and they will have, you'll have ask them, can you open this window you use all the time? And you see how many clicks they have to do, how they can't find the window, and then you realize like this person really does, they're very focused on their day-to-day job, but maybe between the security that they have every single window, they have the, oh, here we go, perfect. So they have the option, we have the option to do their homepage. So I've gone to clients where literally it's just what it was when they literally were set up as a user. So we
Yep.
go through how to set up shortcuts and how each of those pieces on the homepage can make things easier. The other thing we're going to talk about is that you can use that navigation pane. A lot of people don't realize, and literally just like I said, I get clients that have been using GP for years that don't realize they can assign keyboard shortcuts to open a window or open a website or run a macro. So I'm going to go through things on how to make the day-to-day easier, because if you go into GP and you just are lost, years ago I wrote a blog post saying that it's like Where's Waldo. Sometimes you go in, there's
Hmm.
every single window named, you have no idea what's what, but then when you come down to it and you talk to someone, you realize they don't need to get into utilities, they don't need to get into setup, they really just need to get into transactions, and some of the modules they just need inquiry and reports. Cleaning things up, making things simple, just visually, for me, it's like overwhelming when you're looking at 'em like too many things and trying to decide every time, oh, that's the third thing from the top. When we want to get it down to that's the thing that stands out, that's the thing that's in a shortcut, that's the thing that's in my toolbar, that's the thing that's on my homepage. So the number of windows you actually use when you think about it, or the number of reports you have to weed through, the goal is to figure out and help people figure out, what do we actually need? What do we actually use? This is something that I was going to say actually, but I've said it too many times now. In my workbook, I've written books. I know it's on my bio, but I've written a couple user manuals, and one of them literally is all about shortcuts, the homepage, using smart lists. So this is just basically going to be a a little bit of that what I cover in my workbooks, so people can see how valuable it is to take the time to learn these things. And like I said, a seasoned user, I'll go and yes, they're getting their job done, but those tiny seconds, those tiny minutes that add up over the course of a week, of a year, of 20 years of using GP, if I can cut those down for people, I think it just makes things a lot easier and a lot more user friendly.
Great. And this is marked as ability level 101,
Yeah.
new to people. So easy start there.
Yeah.
The primary track is training and user adoption.
Yep.
And for the two sessions we talked about and for the class, are you presenting all those just yourself or are you
Yeah.
having any co-presenters?
No, I'm presenting all by myself. So if the academy got to be so many people, because you guys are all right now, I know, pausing and registering for my class. If it gets to be the point where it'd
Exactly.
be beneficial to have a second person, that is something I always keep on the back burner just as an option. But typically, it's just me. And for sessions, there's been times that I have co-presented, but this year the sessions I'm doing are going to be just me. So
Okay.
if you like my session, you're gonna enjoy it. If you don't, there's always lots of other sessions at the same time. But I love doing these. I like to put in some fun. I've been buying fun things to make it a more entertaining class. So there's lots of surprises coming for Florida.
Great. Will you have a booth in the expo hall?
No, I'll be walking around and I'll probably be signing up for the medic booth if there's availability for that. Otherwise, what I tell clients, or not clients, these aren't clients, apologize. I tell attendees is that I even if I'm not signed up for the booth, I'll go over and help them at the booth with questions and things like that. So my focus is really I really focus on individuals right now. One-on-one and when I'm at these events. But the things that I'm building, the training materials I'm building are really for it could be someday be a booth, but currently they're something that I focus when I'm at the events, getting out there and doing the sessions and meeting the people and helping them if I can at the medic desk.
Great. And I have not seen the mobile app for Summit yet. Have you?
I have not.
Yeah, I don't think it's available yet.
Okay.
Um, but for people who are looking to get in touch with you, before or after classes or sessions,
Yeah.
um, is LinkedIn a good way? You got
Yeah.
email, or what's the best way for them to get in touch with you and
Yeah,
line up
link.
a time?
Yeah, there's a few ways. I'm on all the socials for under my company name. Probably the best way would either be LinkedIn. You can go to my website. There's a contact page where you can put in questions, or even if the question is, if you're listening to this and you want, Amber, I know you say you're going to cover mastering data cleanup, or I know you put this title. I need a little more information or recommendation if it's the right fit for what I'm trying to do. You can always put those questions out. I've even helped people after sessions with designing, building their schedule. So if my session's early enough or during academy, if you are like, I'm overwhelmed by the agenda for the whole event, I've helped people, with recommending classes. So that's something I can do. But yeah, my website, it's very easy. It's just trainingdynamo.com. So it's DYNAMO. So trainingdynamo.com. And on my website, when you hit contact, it just emails me directly, and then I can get right back to you and help you if there's anything that I can do to help customers or attendees at the or even partners. That's the big thing I want to emphasize. I am not an official partner in any way. I have I don't sell licenses or do renewals or anything like that. I work with a lot of amazing partners throughout the country and recommend partners to people if they're looking for someone. But my goal is to literally get in there, focus on the training and processes and reports if they need reports written. But then when it's time for those type of of things, if they have a good partner, I really am very respectful of that relationship. If there are partners that are thinking, I want to get someone up to speed on helping them learn enough about GP to help them move from, I just the other day had someone reach out and they were, pardon me, a partner that wanted some GP training because they don't know GP really well. They know other ERPs, but they're moving people over to Business Central. And they said, could you just
Hmm.
show me around in GP so that when I'm talking to people, I have a better understanding in those conversations. So even those two classes, Saturday and Sunday, are even really good classes for consultants or partners to help them then use that when they're working and training their clients and getting them ready for what's next.
Great. And just to recap the titles for the sessions for everybody, the Saturday and Sunday class for Academy, that's Mastering Daily Cleanup in Dynamics GP to Business Central. That's a 2-day class. Registration for that is separate from Summit. And then you have 2 sessions during Summit. The first one is GP User to GP Superhero. Is it time for a reboot? And the second one is I'm Lost, Navigation and Shortcut Tips for Microsoft Dynamics GP. So some great topics there. I am sure that people are already looking at the details so they can add that to their list. When they get the app, they can add it to their favorites list so they'll know when they should show up and what room and everything is in. Amber, you've been to a lot of these summit conferences,
Yes. Yes.
and you've been to the one down in Orlando before, right? At the Gaylord?
Yes. Yes. I've been at the Gaylord, I think twice at that one and once at the Gaylord Nashville, I think. But I know I've been down there. It's a beautiful hotel or resort or whatever you want to call it. It's really nice. Bring your bathing suit. There's a great pool with a lazy river. But the other thing too is that it just ask for directions if you're lost. Some of the rooms can be not in the main area. They can be just there's turn a corner and there's a little pocket of conference rooms or training rooms. So definitely ask for directions. People are going to be willing to point you in the right direction. One tip I did want to add is if you notice right now on the screenshot, he went through home and he looked up by speaker. You can look up by speakers on the agenda, whether we're on the app or we're here on the website. And the nice thing about looking by speakers is that if they add times, you can find those times. If the people change or add sessions, you'll be able to see that. And then you can also look at people you've seen last year because trying to find what did they call their session this year can be very difficult. But if you go, oh, I really like this one speaker, find the speaker, click on the speaker, you'll see where they're going to be, what they're going to be covering. I use that myself a lot because there's certain people that I'm like, oh, they told me they're doing a session and I can't remember the name. I'll just go back and look by speaker. It's a great way. And also, as you mentioned, some of this classes don't have times listed yet. That's a great way to do that. But yeah, when you're in Orlando has a lot of, there's always usually a fun parties after the sessions, which is good. But the event space itself, it's really pretty. It's a nice place to go and learn and get to know other people. So.
Have you fed the gators there?
I have, you know what? I have gone, there's little baby gators in case people think we're that crazy. They are tiny. But I was talking to someone about that the other day and I was going, I don't think this Gaylord has the boat. Like one of the Gaylords has a boat you can take around because there's literally a river in the middle of this hotel. Like it's all under a big atrium. And this one though has baby gators, and I was like, maybe they don't do the boats because of the baby gators.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's little baby alligators which are very cute, but you understand why you would never want to take a baby home because they do get too big. But no, I think I might have done it years ago, but it's been a while. And maybe this year, if you see me feeding baby gators, this call inspired me to do that.
Yeah, it's really cool. As you walk into walk through the lobby and registration area, and it opens up the big atrium. Right there is where all the water is, and the little
Yeah,
bridges that go across where the gators are, and I think turtles too. So
yeah,
it's a really
it's
great
really
place
cool.
to visit, just to look
Yeah.
around and see everything.
It's beautiful. There's like to give people the scale of this place, it's literally like you could walk in, never go outside, but there's plants and waterfalls. And if you go through, there's another second part of that middle atrium that literally has a full-size sailboat that's a restaurant. Like it's huge. So
Mm,
it's amazing. There's some really good restaurants that are inside, and you're not far from all the Disney places. You're not far from Disney Springs or Universal. If you want to make that an add-on on either side of your trip, it's not far to get over there, and then maybe stay at a hotel a little closer if you're at Universal.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, Amber, thank you for joining me today. It's always great to share with our audience news about upcoming events like Summit. And to all of our users out there, if you get a chance, please try to meet and introduce yourself to Amber. Hopefully, we'll see all of you down in Orlando.
Yeah, can't wait to see you guys.
Thanks, Amber. You
Thanks,
have
Noah.
a great weekend.
Thanks for the time today. I'm looking forward to seeing you and hopefully running over, check out one of your sessions or catch up with you.
Great. Thanks, Amber.
Thanks. Bye.